यन्माया वशवरति विश्वमखिलम् ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलं रज्जौ यथा हेर्भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेकमेव हि भवाम्बोधे स्थितिर्षावताम् वन्देऽहं तमशेषकारणपरं रामाख्यमीशं हरिम्। Hari Om. Goswamiji is now explaining how this Ramcharitmanas came into being. Rachi Mahesa Nija Manasa Rakha Pai Susamau Sivasana Bhasha. Lord Shiva composed this Ramcharitmanas in his mind, and when he found the right student, right adhikari in Parvati ji, Bhagwan gave this teaching to Parvati ji. So the main point over there was that this is created by Bhagwan. So now Goswamiji is going to paint a very beautiful picture of this Manasarovar lake. He says the name also Lord Shiva only has given, Ramacharita Manasa. But what is this lake? How did it form? What is the water in this lake? What are the creatures that live in this lake? What are the lotuses that are there on this Manasarovar lake? What he's pointing out here is what to pay attention to while studying Ramcharitmanas. If we have understood the same bhava which is there in Goswamiji's heart about all these different aspects of Ramcharitmanas, that means we have tuned ourselves with Goswamiji. And when that tuning is there, the result of devotion that will start, we'll start getting some glimpse of what Goswamiji wants us to see for ourselves. So with that in mind, we will read this doha. It's a beautiful metaphor on what is this lake of Manasa. One lake is Manasarovar lake, in which there is the reflection of Kailas mountain. But what is this lake of Ramcharitmanas, in which this Brahmananda will get reflected? So let us chant after doha number 35. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Sambhu Prasad Sumati Ahulasi, Ramacharita Manasa Kabi Tulasi. करई मनोहर मति अनुहारी, सुजन सुचित सुनीलेहु सुधारी। सुमति भूमि थल हृदय अगाधु, वेद पुराण उदधि घन साधु। बरसहि राम सुजस बरबानी, मधुर मनोहर मंगलकारी। लीला सगुन जो कहि बखानी, सोई स्वच्छता करई मलहानी। प्रेम भगति जो बरनि न जाई, सोई मधुरता सुशीतलताई। सो जल सुकृत सालिहित होई, राम भगत जन जीवन सोई। मेधा महिगत सो जल पावन, सकिली श्रवण मग चले सुहावन भरे सुमानस सुथल थिराना सुखद सीत रुचि चारु चिराना सुटि सुंदर संवाद बर बिरचे बुद्धि विचारी तेहि पावन सुभग सर घाट मनोहर चारी सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Sambhu Prasada Sumati Hiya Hulasi. To compose this Ramcharitmanas, what is the qualification that is needed? One is my skill set that I have of all the poetry and everything, but important qualification needed is a pure mind. And how did I get that pure mind? With Bhagwan's grace. Sambhu Prasada Sumati Hiya Hulasi. I became Tulsidas because of Bhagwan's grace. And this again and again Goswamiji brings to tell us that it doesn't matter what our past is. Either it is Goswamiji or Valmiki ji, their past was very different. But when Bhagwan's Krupa happens, when the mind gets purified, that person becomes completely transformed. Ramacharita Manasa Kabi Tulasi. This is composed by Bhagwan. I became Kavi, means I'm only Nimitta, but the real composer is Bhagwan. Karai Manohara Mati Anuhari, Sujana Suchita Suni, Lehu Sudhari. Now, with whatever little kavita that I can compose, whatever I have understood, I will try my best. I will leave no stone unturned to sing glories of Bhagavan. Goswamiji is saying, huh? Look at his humility. Now he says, but all the listeners are Sujana. I mean, they have studied Shastra. And if there is any shortcoming in my poetry, please make up for it. Means usko sudhar lena. Suchita suni lehu sudhari. After listening, if you feel that something is short over here, then please make sure that you understand it in the right way. Now it's a beautiful metaphor. He begins the description of lake of Manasarovar. What is the bhumi? What is the rock bedding which is there for that lake? What is the foundation? He says, Sumati Bhumi. A sattvic mind is the foundation on which this Ramcharit or this Manasarovar will get formed. Thala Hrudaya Agadhu. But it is not only the foundation which is there, but also the depth of that lake, the contour of that land. That is the large-heartedness of this sadhaka. Meaning all these are qualifications for a sadhaka, for a devotee, developing large-heartedness so that we become accommodative in life and mentally we don't close our doors to anybody from our side. So that is this depth. Okay, so we say, right, some person is deep personality. Means what? They are able to be in different situations without getting too disturbed. And this quality of a bhakta is to develop large-heartedness so that more and more water of this Ramcharitmanas can get accumulated in that sadhaka. Veda Purana Udadi Ghana Sadhu. Now that you have the foundation of Sumati, and then you have the depth of this Vishala Hrudaya, big, large heartedness is there. The water should also come there, right? How will it come? What is the source of that water? He says Veda Purana Udhadi. Veda and Puranas, they are like that ocean which is there. And Santa Mahatmas are those who are like the cloud, who bring sweet water from that ocean. To do what? To fill this lake of Ramcharitmanas. Meaning, whatever water is there in a lake, the source of it is from that ocean only. So, whatever teaching is there in Ramcharitmanas, that is there from Vedas and Purana. Means original source is from Veda Purana. But the interesting thing about ocean is it is very large, it gives lot of joy just by looking at it, but one cannot quench their thirst from ocean water. Even if so much is available, we cannot quench our thirst even with a glass of water from that ocean. So, what do we need? We need somebody who can go there and bring that same essence in the form of that cloud, so that we get fresh water, we get sweet water with which we can quench our thirst. So sadhu mahatmas are like those clouds. They have struggled a lot to understand Vedas and Purana. It is not easy to swim in an ocean. It needs that kind of rigor, that kind of discipline in thought, commitment to that scripture. So Goswamiji has studied for 15 years with his teacher. He has studied Vedanta, he has studied other Shastra. And now he says he is presenting all of that as this sweet water which will fill this Ramcharitmanas. Barashahi Rama Sujasa Barabari. And then those clouds which are there, they will start showering. What will they shower? The glories of Bhagwan Rama. Rama Sujasa, they will shower. And there is something very unique about this water. It is Madhura, it is sweet, it is Manohara, something which will take our mind away, and it is Mangalakari. It will also bring auspiciousness. Bhagwan's kathas, Bhagwan's leelas, they have all these three characteristics. It is sweet, like that water is sweet. It is delightful. Manasarovar lake also, if you see, it's very calming, just to see that lake. And it is Mangalakari. Like Gangaji's water is not only that, physical water that we put. It has something more auspicious to it. So what is Goswamiji doing here now? He is comparing that Manasarovara lake to the lake of Ramcharitmanas. Okay, so that is the analogy that he is building. First he described what is the ground, then he said what is the depth, and then what is the water that is going in this. Okay, so that is this Ramcharitmanas. Leela saguna jo kahahi bakhani, soi swachhata karai malahani. Now, what is the glory of this water of Ramcharitmanas that has been gathered here now from this Veda Purana? All Santa Mahatmas brought it as stories of Bhagwan. What is so special about this water? He says, Saguna Leela of Bhagwan, one who listens, that Saguna Leela cleanses one's vasanas from the mind. And it is those same vasanas which give us lot of trouble. We think we are in control of our life, our situation. But actually, if we see, we are dancing to vasanas most of the times. So Saguna Leelas of Bhagwan is that, medicine which will take us away from dancing to our vasanas, and it will take us towards Bhagwan, where this mind will become quiet, and a quiet mind is a cheerful mind. In that mind alone, there will be other things which will start taking roots. All teachings of Vedanta, everything else, they will come in this quiet mind. But first of all, that quiet mind itself will be a source of lot of joy. One of the cantos in Bhagavatam is called Ishanu Katha. I mean, the title of that canto is Glories of Bhagwan. And the beginning of that canto is, what is the purpose of listening to Glories of Bhagwan? It says that is the only way for us to cleanse our vasanas. Somewhere, some katha will pull our mind and remind us of this fact, where are we going? Somewhere, some Ishtadevata, their leelas will speak to us and we'll start getting drawn towards living a spiritual life. In one text called as Panchadashi, which is composed by Vidyaranya Swamiji, the 7th chapter of Panchadashi is called Trupti Deepa. And there Vidyaranya Swamiji gives the highest teaching. He takes one mantra from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad and elaborates it for 200 plus verses. Only one mantra. He goes through different points and tells a lot of other sadhanas and everything. So one of his teaching is about how to quieten the mind and how to do Nididhyasanam. And there he says, Nididhyasanam is to remove erroneous notions in us. And more he keeps explaining, the student comes back and has the same question back again, where he says this mind is so difficult to control. You are telling all these sadhanas for Nididhyasanam, Vedantic meditation, but I am not able to practice it. So then Vidyaranya Swamiji says, one of the ways of overcoming our Viparita Bhavanas, overcoming or cleansing the mind, he says, is to listen to Itihasa and Purana. And the student again comes back after, having heard this solution, he again comes back and asks, well, you said Vedantic meditation, right? If I start doing Itihasa Purana, listening to them, will it not interfere in my Vedantic study? Vidyaranya Swamiji says the same chaupai that is written here. He says, no. The way Itihasa and Purana is written, if somebody has thoroughly understood it, it will have the same essence as Upanishads. But what it will do is, while it is, flowing, the katha is flowing and everything, it will remove the impurities of the mind. In Panchadashi, Vidyaranya Swamiji says this. Don't worry about Itihasa Purana interfering with your Vedantic study. It will actually come and cleanse our mind and make it more sattvic. So this Ramcharitmanas is like that. Saguna Leelas of Bhagwan is the water, which is there. Prema Bhagati jo barani na jai, soi madhurata susitalatai. And this water is so great, the devotion of Bhagwan is so wonderful, it cannot be described in words. Meaning we are familiar with getting attached and having some kind of love towards an object of this world, one particular object. But here Goswamiji is saying devotion to Bhagwan is something very different. That devotion one has to practice and see for themselves. It cannot be described in terms of another measure of worldly love. Soi madhurata susitalatai. And this water is very sweet and very calming, soothing water it is. So jala sukruta salihita hoi. And this water, when it flows, it nourishes the crops of Punya Karma. When we do Shravanam of Bhagwan, it is said that Shravanam accumulates lot of Punya. Sali, Sukruta Sali means it accumulates Punya Karma. Ram Bhagata Jana Jivana Soi. And for devotees of Bhagwan, this Katha Shravanam and these glories of Bhagwan, they are like water, means they can't live without it. Even Parayanam of Ramcharitmanas, again and again they feel like we should go back to that and listen to it over and over again. Medha mahigata sojala pavana, sakili shravana maga chalevu suhavana. Now this Ramcharitmanas lake, it got formed in one place, and now gradually it has to enter in our own heart. Okay, so after that lake is formed, this water through ears, as though those channels are there, right, in the field. So through the channel of the ear, it will enter and it will seep into our heart. Sakili shravana maga chalevu suhavana. Bhareyu sumanasa sutala thirana, sukhada sita ruchi charu chirana. The beauty of that lake is that this water does not become stale. It is ever fresh, and when it comes, it is muddy. Whenever this rainwater comes through any means, when it comes, it is muddy, but this Ramakatha is such that it will settle down, and what will remain is only that crystal clear water. Tomorrow, Atma Bodha class, we will see this. Jalam Kataka Renuvat. Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji gives example, but that is in different context. So Bhagwan's Katha, we can see it in this way, that it will settle in our heart and it will take all impurities and settle down. So what will remain in our heart is only that pure water. And that purity of mind will give us joy. Sukhada sita ruchi charu chirana. This steady water, that pure water which is there, that will give us joy. Now, this lake is such, some of the lakes, they are very deep, so you cannot directly enter it. So Goswamiji says, for ease of entry in this lake, I have made 4 ghat. Ghat is like a step formation by which we can hold on to a lot of supports and then take a very content dip in that river or in that lake. Those of you who have been to Haridwar or Varanasi, there are different ghats to take dip in the river. If it is not there, then taking a dip is very difficult. Gurudev used to say, if you enter in Uttar Kashi, you will be picked up in West Bengal because that flow is so fast sometimes that you cannot just enter. You need a lot of support to do it. So what is the support? Suti Sundara Sambada Bara Birache Buddhi Vichari. Very carefully, I have designed 4 samvada, means 4 conversations will go on in 4 different ghat. So on one ghat, there will be conversation between Kakabusundi ji and Garud ji. On another ghat, there will be conversation between Lord Shiva and Parvati ji. Third ghat, there will be conversation between Yajnavalkya ji and Bharadwaj ji. And the 4th ghat is, Goswamiji says, I am there. There is a conversation between me and my mind. So in Ramcharitmanas, these are the 4, conversations which keep going on. And we don't have to name it yet. Let us see what those conversations are whenever they come. And then we will try to see which one is Jnana Ghata, which one is Bhakti Ghat. So why label it even before studying? But important thing is, all the ghats are to enter in that same lake. Even the questions that all the students are asking, right? So every ghat there is a student and a teacher. So Kakabhushundiji is the teacher, Garudji is the student, Lord Shiva is the teacher, Parvati ji is the student, Yajnavalkya ji is the teacher, Bharadwaj ji is the student. Goswami ji says, I am the student only. He doesn't want to say, Lord Shiva is the teacher, he will say. So like this, there is a conversation between student and a teacher. But the question that all the students ask are the same question. In different ways, they are asking, what is the nature of Bhagwan? This is a devotional text, right? Instead of asking Atma Kaha, they will ask Ishvara Kaha. How is this one unchanging reality appearing to be doing all these leelas? Bhagwan appears to be crying at sometimes he gets deluded. How come this Brahma Swarupa, who is Avikari, become this person doing leelas and all? That is the question. Of all the 4 students, this question is asked. But what happens is, while listening to their student, dialogue, the question and the answer between the student and the teacher, we benefit and we can also take a dip in that Manasarovar. Now, more description about the lake. सप्त प्रबंध सुभग सोपाना ज्ञान नयन निरखत मन माना रघुपति महिमा अगुण बाधा बरनब सोई बर बारिय गाधा राम सीय जस सलिल सुधासम उपमा बीच बिलास मनोरम पुरैनी सघन चारु चौपाई जुगुति मंजुमनि सीप सुहाई छंद सोरठा सुंदर दोहा सोई बहुरंग कमल कुल सोहा अर्थ अनूप सुभाव सुभासा सोई पराग मकरंद सुबासा सुकृत पुंज मंजुल अलिमाला ज्ञान विराग विचार मराला धुनि अवरेब कबित गुण जाति मीन मनोहर ते बहु भाति अर्थ धर्म कामादिक चारी कहब ज्ञान विज्ञान विचारी नवरस जप तप जोग विरागा ते सब जल चर चारु तड़ागा सुकृति साधु नाम गुण गाना ते विचित्र जल बिहग समाना संत सभा चहुदिसी अवराई श्रद्धा ऋतु बसंत समगाई भगति निरूपण विविध विधाना क्षमा दया दमलता बिताना समजम नियम फूल फल ज्ञाना हरिपद रति रस भेद बखाना औरौ कथा अनेक प्रसंगा ते सुख पिक बहु बरन विहंगा पुलक बाटिका बाग बन सुख सुबिहंग बिहारू माली सुमन स्नेह जल सींचत लोचन चारु सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. In olden days and even now, during Chaturmasa, lot of Mahatmas used to stay in one place and give pravachan. And their Ramakatha goes on for one session is for like 2.5, 3 hours. So this chaupai or this doha that we are going to see has lot of similes. And these Mahatmas are such, their medha, their pratibha, ability to think about each of these examples is such, they can go on with one chaupai for several days. Several days they can just elaborate one example and go into so many places and then come back. So now Goswamiji is pointing out, now ghats have been formed, right? The 4 places where we can enter into the river. But there are steps which will help us to easily enter this river. River meaning the lake of Ramcharitmanas. What are those steps? Sapta Prabandha Subhaga Sopana. The 7 kandas which are there in Ramcharitmanas, starting from Balakanda, those 7 are called as the steps, which will help us enter into this Ramcharitmanas. Next one is important. Jnana Nayana Nirakhatamana Mana. But when you enter this Ramcharitmanas, Goswami is saying we should have Jnana Nayana. Means through the eye of knowledge, with Pramana Buddhi in Ramcharitmanas, we should look at the teachings of this to fully benefit from what all things Goswamiji is going to say here. Means if we have that eye, Goswamiji is saying we'll find lot of gems, have lot of Pramana Buddhi. What will happen with that? Raghupati Mahima Aguna Abadha. Baranaba Soi Barabari Agadha. The depth of this Ramakatha is in Nirguna form, Nirguna Rupa of Bhagavan. Raghupati Mahima means glory of Bhagavan. Aguna, Nirguna, Abadha. That which is always of the same nature, unchanging, Sakshi Swarupa, Chaitanya Swarupa Brahma. That is the depth of this Ramakatha. Otherwise, if it is, very shallow river or shallow lake, it just evaporates. In any, summer season, sometimes you see, there is a car going into that lake. And they also say that there was a lake over here. It's only during rainy season. So this lake is not like that. It has lot of depth. And what is that depth? That is Nirguna form of Bhagavan. But we have to have the eye to see that. That is why Jnana Nayana is important. Baranaba Soibara Bari Agadha. So that is the depth of Ramcharitmanas. This water which is there is like Amrutam. What is the water? Glory of Bhagwan Rama. Rama Siya Jasa Salila Sudhasama. This Ramji and Sitaji's glory is like Amrutam, which is there in this lake of Ramcharitmanas. But Goswami is saying there are some beautiful ripples in that wave. In that lake, there are some beautiful ripples. What are those ripples? He says, those are the examples that I'm giving in Ramcharitmanas. Upama Bichi Bilasa Manorama. All these examples that I bring in that lake of Ramcharitmanas, in that Manasarovar, just like there are ripples in this lake of Ramcharitmanas, there are these examples which are there. Lake, calm lake, there is one beauty to it. But if there are ripples, then that lake is beautiful. Even more beautiful than a calm lake. So all these examples which are there, Goswamiji is saying, it adds beauty to this. Beachy also means a wave. Meaning what he's saying, my examples are like those waves that keep crashing on the shores. But through the wave, we have to understand the essence or the water which is there. If somebody goes to a lake and they say, the lake was beautiful, I saw many waves, it was, a lot of ripples were there. But did you notice the water? Water I didn't notice. I only enjoyed the beauty of the wave when I came back. You see, the purpose of that example is fulfilled only when we are able to understand the point which is being pointed out by that example. Right? So all these analogies which Goswamiji brings up, one is their beauty, which is just evident, but also we should make effort to understand what is he pointing out through those examples. And then on this lake, there are a lot of leaves, lotus leaves. What are those lotus leaves? He says chaupais are like those lotus leaves. And they are thick. Puraini saghana charu chaupai. Saghana means thick spread of lotus leaves, so much so that this water you can't see sometimes. But those chaupais are floating in this water only. Huh? They are not independently there. So he says these chaupais are like those lotus leaves. Juguti manju mani sipa suhai. Then there are a lot of logic or a lot of logical points that are given in Ramcharitmanas. They are like those shells in which that water accumulates and there is a pearl which is formed in that shell. Meaning what? Whenever there are logical points which Goswamiji brings in, we should hold on to it and reflect upon it for a long time. And when that reflection happens, there will be a pearl in our understanding. Because for a pearl to form, previously he had given one example that after that raindrop falls in that pearl or that shell, it has to stay for a long time and Swati Nakshatra has to come. And when Swati Nakshatra comes, that raindrop becomes a pearl. So this logic is also like that. It is like that shell which we have to patiently hold on to, allow those raindrops to fall, keep reflecting on them, and then something new comes out. Like how we saw the previous portion, right, where Goswamiji was talking about that Nama is greater than Saguna form of Bhagwan and Nirguna form of Bhagwan. Now, so many logical points he gave, but there is a lot of depth in each of those logical points, which he is calling all of us to reflect upon it. And he says the result of that will be this pearl. Chanda Sorata Sundara Doha, Soi Bahuranga Kamala Kula Soha. Now, there are a lot of lotus leaves. So, there are a lot of chaupais in Ramcharitmanas, but in between, there are chandas which comes, Sorata which comes, and Doha which comes. All of them are beautiful. He says they are like those colorful, beautiful lotuses in that lake of Ramcharitmanas. Arata Anupama, Arata Anupa Subhava Subhasa, Soi Paraga Makaranda Subhasa. While reading these chaupais, soratas, and dohas, chandas, what should we keep in mind? Goswamiji says, make sure you gather three things. One is artha, their meaning you gather. Subhava, also gather that bhava, what these dohas and chaupais are trying to bring out. And subhasa, the language in which it is expressed. So that we should gather. So in that Manasarovar lake, these three things are like the pollen which is there, the honey which is there in that flower, and the fragrance which is there in that flower. Okay, so these three things in all these chaupais are like those three things which are there in that flower. Okay, Aratha, Subhava, Subhasa are there in Ramcharitmanas. And in that actual flower in some Manasa lake, there is Paraga, Makaranda, Subhasa. Paraga means pollen. Makaranda means honey, that sweetness in that flower, and fragrance is there. Now, how will I gather all these three things? To gather honey, you need a bee. So, what is this bee in this Manasarovara? It says, Sukruta Punja Manjula Alimala. So, all the Punya karmas which we have gathered, they are like those bees. Means we don't have to put forth too much effort. Sincerely do Shravanam of Ramakatha, develop devotion for Bhagwan. These things will keep coming. When Punya karmas keep increasing, a lot of things start becoming clear. Jnana Biraga Bichara Marala. There are also swan birds which are there in that lake, and they are Jnana, knowledge, Vairagya, and Vichara, ability to think about several things. Okay. So Tattva Bodha elaboration is about Viveka Shakti. Viveka about transactional world also, Viveka about Adhyatmik Shastra also. Then this poetry, the sound of this poetry, different alankaras which are there, all of these are like the fishes which are there in that Manasarovar. And whenever there is this lake, and a deep lake in particular, there are many jivas which are there. Many other living creatures which also live in that lake. Means you will keep seeing them here and then, especially if you go snorkeling or scuba diving, right? Suddenly you will see somebody walking down there, some funny kind of creature which is there. So what are these other creatures which are living in this lake? Goswamiji says they are four purusharthas: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. They are like those jivas which are living in that lake. Many other are coming, but these four are those jivas. Kahaba jnana, vigyana vichari. This Brahma Vidya, this knowledge which is there, teaching of Brahma Vidya, that also will keep coming. All navarasas which are there, different kinds of rasas in poetry, that is there. Japa tapa yoga viraga, how to do japa sadhana, what is meant by tapas, later in Parvati ji's prasanga, this will come. What is yoga, what is vairagya? Te saba jalachara charu tadaga. All these four things are there. They will keep coming now and then. And greatness or the name of Punyatma, Sadhu Purushas of Bhagwan Ramchandra ji and all other Sadhu Purushas, their name, their yasha is like that water bird. Te bichitra jala bihaga samana. Jala bihaga means that water bird which keeps coming in some seasonal times, or it is able to stay in that lake and also fly outside. So those are those water birds which will keep coming. And then around this lake, there is a beautiful mango grove that has been formed. How did it form? What is this mango, plantation which is there around? He says, Santa Sabha Chahu Dise Avarai. Santa Mahatmas, they are like this mango trees which are there around. Shraddha Ritu Basanta Samagai. And Vasanta Ritu, which is there in this Ramcharitmanas lake, is the Shraddha which is there in our heart. And wherever there is Vasanta, or put it other way, wherever there is Santa, there will be Vasanta. So you see the previous chopa is Santa Sabha Chahu Disyavarai. And next he says Shraddha Ritu Basanta Samagai. Whenever Santa Mahatmas are there, they will bring devotion in our heart, they will bring Shraddha in our heart. And then there are other trees also, all this Shama, Dama, all other sadhanas that we are doing, those trees are also there. That will also come in Ramcharitmanas. And the flowers which are there is this Shama, what we saw in Tattva Bodha, Yama Niyamas that we follow in Ashtanga Yoga. They are like those beautiful flowers on those trees. But the fruit which comes is the knowledge. Phala Jnana. the final fruit which is there is clear knowledge about nature of Bhagwan and our own true nature. But that much only is not the goal. After having gained knowledge, we should revel in that fruit. We should revel in that knowledge, revel in Bhagwan's glory. So Haripada Rati Rasa Beda Bakhana means Rati should happen in Bhagwan, in Atman. Even if it doesn't happen all the time to begin with, at least some time we should take out to say that I will think only about Bhagwan for this much time. And that taste will pull us more and more towards Bhagwan. And there are different stories which keep coming in Ramcharitmanas. They are like all those, parrots and cuckoo birds which are sitting on those trees. And last doha, Goswamiji says, Pulaka Batika Bhagabana. Whenever we hear Bhagwan's glory, there should be some katha by which this sadhaka gets horripulations. The jackfruit, how you have those, spikes. So that is the Batika, that is the forest. Pulaka Batika Bhagabana Sukha Subihanga Biharu. And in that Vatika of this, sadhaka, there are birds which are going around. And that bird is bird of Sukham. Ananda Pakshi will come to that Vatika. And who is the one who takes care of that Vatika, who waters this, garden? He says, Mali Sumana. A pure mind, a beautiful mind is the gardener which makes sure that this Vatika is very well nourished. With what water does he nourish it? Sneha Jala, with that devotion water which is there, with that water this gardener nourishes those trees. Sinchata Lochana Charu means those water, that Sneha Jala, he is gathering from the tears which come from the eyes of that devotee. So it is said, if there are tears listening to Bhagwan's Katha, that means that prasanga has melted the heart of this devotee. And those tears will cleanse the impurities which are there in that devotee's heart. So it is more about where have we found that rasa. Some katha of Bhagwan should be there, which hits our, which melts our heart, and we can derive strength from that connection with Bhagwan. That is our window, wherever that happens. All right, so we'll do our Nama Sankirtanam. Aganita Gunagana Bhushana Rama, Ashrita Vatsala Jaya Jaya Rama, Ayodhyavasi Sita Rama, Apad Bandhava Jaya Jaya Rama, Dasharatha Nandana Shri Rama, Dashamukha Mardana Jaya Jaya Rama, Kausalya Sukhavardhana Rama, Kamita Phalada Jaya Jaya Rama, Papa Vimochana Shri Rama, Pattabhi Rama Jaya Jaya Rama, Janaki Vallabha Sita Rama, Jaya Raghu Rama, Jaya Sita Rama, Vanara Sevita Shri Rama, Varidhi Bandana Jaya Jaya Rama, Hanumat Pujita Sita Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Raghupati Raghava Raja Rama, Patita Pavana Sita Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Siyavara Ramachandra Ki Jai, Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Hari Om everyone.